Welcome back, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Amy of AmyAstro. I do weekly videos about astrophotography. I edit images, assemble telescope rigs, troubleshoot, and I do skier reviews. Many of my videos are requested actually by you all, and this week is no exception. A dear friend over on a Facebook group called the Backyard Astro Imaging Club has asked me to edit some of his astro data. He has placed it on a cloud drive for everyone who is a member of this club to have access to it and to give it a go. So let me show you how to access this data and then we will start editing it. So if you remember over here on the Facebook group, it's free. You just ask to join and you will be plugged in within a matter of an hour or so, because I really don't think this guy sleeps at all. And he's got over here on this sidebar, files. And this is for anybody who is a member. So let's go ahead and double click the files and you'll see Club Cloud Data, and this target is M101. Now the really cool stuff about using somebody else's data, it's like test driving somebody else's camera and telescope and mount and see how it does. So if you want to buy something, he does include the links on where to go buy something. And that's really cool. Test before you buy. Why not? So here we go. He's got a nice little description here. If I click right here, I will go to the cloud drive where everything's at. But let's read through this description real quick. We've got 50 light frames. He says one of them's no good. We'll check it out and determine that. He's got 50 dark frames. These were all 5-minute subs at 10 degrees Celsius. He used an Altair Astro Hypercam 294 Pro Tech, and it is a color-cooled camera. Very awesome. Let's see, what else did he use? Oh, he used the Altair Astro Wave 115 EDT. It's a 115 millimeter FPL53 Triplet refractor, no less. Boy, that was a mouthful. Let's see, what mount is he using today? Oh, he's got that new EQAR. Let's say Drool. Oh my gosh, I need to get a washcloth for this one. I'm jealous. Let's see. He did guiding with PhD too. That's what most of us use. Capture software. Now this is a new one. I haven't tried this yet. Astrophotography tool. I need to give that a go. And let's see, he stacked some for us to use, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stack them fresh. But he used Astro Pixel processor. These were taken over in the UK. I can't believe he actually had a clear night. I hear it's always cloudy over there. So let's see. Oh yeah, the standard boilerplate. If I edit them, he's going to post them. All right, guys. So let's follow through here and let's get hold of these images. And we'll go up here to his cloud drive and I'll just show you how it's all set up. I've already downloaded these, but they're all nicely organized in each one of these folders. You just click on it, say download all, and bam, it will show up in your download folder, ready for you to go. So let's see, I don't need this drive. I've already got everything down on my computer here, but I'm going to leave this open because it's got some good information for me later. And following his links, he's got information on each one of these cameras, which we will definitely need, because we'll need to get the pixel size. We'll need to, let's see if I keep scrolling down here. I know it's in here. I will need, let's see, I need the resolution, and it's in all of this. We need to get this sorted out a little bit here. Highlighting, back focus, we know all those. Okay. I will dig it out of here in just a minute and highlight it and make it a little easier for me to find. What else we got here? This was another one of his links. That's the fancy dancy telescope that he's using. Very nice, very sleek. And there's all the information for it. It's an F7. It's not bad. Okay, but one of the things, before I start processing everything, I need to find out the information for the field of view and all that for when I do my approval process over there in PixInsight. So let's go ahead and add our telescope. Let's see if it's pre-programmed in here. Altair, and what pulls up here? I need the 115 wave, and I bet you somebody's already put that one in there. There he is, right there. There's all the information that I needed. Now the camera, I know it's not in here. So what I need to do, come over here, and I actually got to find these things now. Let's scroll through here. I need my pixel size. All right, Nick, we need to organize this so we can get the information out really easy here. Let's see, pixel size, 4.63 microns. So let's go back over here and put in, here it is, 4.63 by 4.63. All right, I need to find the resolution on here. Let's go back to that tab and scroll through here. There he is. 4128 by 2808. I won't remember that, so let's get back here. That was 4128 by, what was that, 2808? 2808? Let's go back and check. Did I remember it? Hey, I remembered it. I'll be doggone. Okay, so now that I've got that, he did not use any reducer. There was no binning on these images. So, and let's go ahead and we pre-programmed this to be the pinwheel because that's what we took. And let's do an add to view. There we go. So this is in reality what our image should be framed up like. But what I needed to know was my pixel resolution. So I'm going to take a quick note of that. Because once again, I am not going to remember that. And that scale is 1.18. Excellent. And I'm going to write this down, the pixel size, 4.63. And I'm just going to leave this up and running, and I am going to slide it over to the next screen. All right. So let's get our PixInsight open. And the first thing you know that I like to do is I open up that template project that I work off of because it has all of the commands over on the side, and I don't have to think real hard. And Lord knows I don't need to think anymore. So let's go to Open Recent, Project Files. It's always one of the first few that I've opened up. And I'll just say this model project, that's fine. Oh look, PixInsight has another update. Pretty sure I updated it yesterday. Okie dokie. Alright, so let's go grab our club data over here and let's start with our dark frames, and we are going to integrate them. We don't have any bias frames to calibrate them with, so we're just going to go straight over into integration. So let's come over here. We've got image integration. Let's add a file. Grab all of our dark images and say open. Alright, let's see. Image integration, combination average, normalization, no normalization, weights or don't care, let's all make them one. Let's see, I'm going to generate an integrated image, subtract pedestals, that's something new that they've added. Evaluate noise, automatic buffer size, yes, that's all good. And let's see, linear fit clipping, yes, because I've got 50 images here. And let's check this one to no normalization. And I'll clip the low pixels, clip the high pixels, that should be good to go. And everything else I will leave as default. And let's run through them real quick. And I'll be back as soon as they are done processing. Alright, so now that we've got our dark, let's go ahead and label this so we remember what it is, just in case we forget. Let's call this our dark frame. Alright, gonna push it up here. And let's give it a save. In case we have to go do laundry again or something. And it's going to be called dark. I'm going to put it underneath my dark folder and save and save. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got for our flat frames. All right, so we've got our flat frames right here. There they are. 50 of them in all their glory. And let's see, he gives us a He did calibrate them for you if you just wanted to skip straight down to his master flat. And he gave us a nice little TXT file here. What has this got? Oh, basically it tells us all the pictures and everything else we got going on here. All right, let's see. Let's close that out and let's just stick with these flat files. So the flats now have to be calibrated with the dark frame. And we're going to do that with image calibration. And we're going to add all of our flat files. Let's go get them. And there they are. And let's just grab the 50 flats and say open. Let's give it an output directory. Don't mind the noise. The cats are getting rather rowdy. Let's see. Let's go to... I'm going to make a second folder here for flat calibration because I want these to be tonight's edit, not last night's edit. Create. Let's say open. All right. So that's where we're going to drop all of our files. We'll leave these evaluate the noise. We're not going to do any overscanning. We don't have a master bias, but we do have a master dark. And let's go get the dark that we just saved. And that is our dark XISF. Say that 3 times real fast. All right. So what we do here is our dark files are taken at 300 seconds. These are taken only at a couple seconds. So we'll need to optimize the images between the two. Okay? And my flat frames most likely don't have any amp glow on it, so I don't need to calibrate it. So I am just going to leave it right there with just optimization. And we are going to make our flat. So let's apply this to global. Let it run for a couple minutes and we'll be right back. All right, so we have our flat image here. And let's go ahead and minimize this box. And this is our flat, and it is a very, very flat image. But let's just analyze it just a little bit closer before I say that it's not really there. Let's see, give this box a reset. And let's pull out the screen transfer function. He's over here, there he is. And let's unstretch it, and let's stretch it here. I'm gonna bring this over here, new instance, and let's do a live view. And let's play with these sliders just a little bit and just see what we've got hiding in here. There we go. Super clean rig here. There are no dust bunnies, but you can see some of the, there it is, the vignetting over there on the edges that it's cleaning out. It's hard to see, but it's there. So we are good to go. That's going to be a good flat image. So let's close this down and close the screen transfer function down and close the preview. All right, I've already renamed the image. It's flat and we're going to save it, so it'll be good to go. All right, so we've got our flat calibrated into a master file. We've got our dark calibrated into a master file. So now it's time to go ahead and get our actual light files calibrated. Let's calibrate our light files. We're going to go add our files and let's get to where they're at. And let's grab all of them. I'm even going to grab number 50 that he said was not good. Why is it not good? Let's take a peek. Oh, well, that explains why it's not good. But you know what? Let's do an experiment that I think you guys are all going to appreciate. I'm going to keep this file in my pile and let's see what happens to it. Okay, let's get our output directory, which is going to be our light. Let's go back one more. Light calibrated, open. Okay, all these will stay as default. We don't have a master bias, so minimize that. We have a master dark. Sorry, pizza's ready. Hold on. All right, I'm back. My DiGiorno's in the oven, so I've got 22 minutes to get this all taken care of. So where were we at? We've got all our files loaded. Oh, we're looking for our master dark. Let's go back here to our calibration files, our dark. Oops, open. And that's the dark that we just created. Open. And let's see. Now, my darks are at 5 minutes, my lights are at 5 minutes, so I do not need to optimize. That's only if they were at different lengths of time. I do need to calibrate these because technically, because we didn't have a bias frame or anything, our darks have never been calibrated. So let's minimize this and let's grab our flat. And let's see, that's still under calibration files, it's under flat and our Flux file. There we go. So let's go ahead and run this real quick and see how our calibration files look. All right, all 50 files have been calibrated. But you know, I want to show you something real quick. Let's open up our file number 1. Minimize here. And let's give file number 1 a stretch. This is the uncalibrated file. And what I want you to see is over here on this edge. It's difficult to see, but you see this line through here? There's a starburst here. It is some amp glow showing up on this camera sensor. And it's not a huge deal. But I know when we see this on a lot of our images, we start to freak out when we see this, this sunburst effect. Well, let's go to our file that we just finished calibrating, which is our calibrated file. It's number 1. And let's open it up. And let's see if that same line is still there. All right, gonna zoom in. Bring it over. I'm going to give it that super stretch. And tell you what, let's get them the same size again. You see right here's our original one. And this one with the underbar C is our brand new one. I don't see it there anymore. It has been calibrated out because of our dark image. Let me grab our dark file and open it up real quick. I must have closed a directory here. There we go. And back to my calibrations and dark. And let's open this dark file. Because remember when we saw it, that was just enough to give you heart failure. And if you line it up, you see where it was? It's in there in the original, but it's definitely multiplied once we created this master dark, stacking 50 of them all together. But if we come over to our calibrated image, it's gone. So do not panic when you see this on your images. It will calibrate out. And the reason it calibrated out was because of this one setting right here. Master dark, calibrate. If you check this box, that amp glow will go away. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. All right, so that was the big point I really wanted to show you guys, because I know we all like to panic when we see that. Let's close all these up and get on with the next step. Close. There we go. The next thing we got to do is our cosmetic correction, which is to get rid of our hot pixels that our camera naturally generates. It can't help it. It's in its DNA. It's going to happen. So let me go ahead and grab our calibrated images and say open. All right. And our output directory will be that light cal cosmetic corrected and open. That way. Let's get our master dark. Calibration, dark, open. Let's open up one of our images. Let's give it a stretch. Let's zoom into a spot that has no stars. And let's create ourselves a preview window. Remember our preview window up here? And a good spot with no stars. Open. All right, there we go. I'm going to turn my live view on. Whoa, that really grew. I kind of like how they did that with this new addition. Let's enable hot pixel rejection. And we move our Sigma slider bar down until we start to see some pixels disappearing. They're usually the really bright ones, but there's not really any bright ones here. But keep an eye on this real quantity number here. You don't want to go too crazy. And you can see all of a sudden some pixels start disappearing on me. And that does kind of concern me. Do I really want to get rid of those spots? They don't look like they're hot pixels. So I'm probably going to back off up here because I just don't want to get too crazy and cause all those. But even still, that's 4,395 pixels that are going away. Let's turn on our cold pixel enable. And even all the way down at 2.1, we've got 0. So that's a really good camera there. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. All right, all 50 have been cosmetically corrected. Good deal. Let's close all these out and minimize this. So the next step in our process is we need to add our color back and rearrange all those pixels. So we're going to do debayering. Let's open this up, and this is really easy. We got our Bayer mosaic pattern from the manufacturer from over there on Altair's website, and it is RGGB. But also, if you looked in that club data little letter, they also told us one of the text files that it was RGGB, which was great. We're going to use demosaicing method VNG because it's the best to use. And we're going to go find our images. Wrong directory. All right, light cal are cosmetically corrected. Let's grab all 50 of them. Remember, I've even got that 50 bogus one in there. We're just going to keep moving with it and see what happens. Grab my output directory. And it's the light cal, color, cosmetic corrected, and debayer, and open. And we let this thing run on through. There we go, 50 files have been debayed. So did you do anything exciting with all that time you had here? Probably not, since I'm going to fast forward through that little bit. But I did get up and walk around, and I went and checked on my pizza. Pizza says I have exactly 4 minutes until dinner time. Yes, I am just that excited about it. So the next step after our debayering is we need to approve our images. Now I know there is a new approval script that's underneath the process menu that we can all use, and it works great. It really does. But I'm going to tell you why I like this script just a little bit better. And we're going to call it pure laziness. Typically I work with the same camera all the time, and I have the same expressions all the time. And you know what? It remembers it from the last time I used it. So I don't have to rewrite all of that math again. Yes, I'm just that lazy. So let's go ahead and add our files. Go back to our club data, our debayed files. We'll grab them all and say open. And remember, we went through the Astronomy Tools website and calculated out our scale at 1.18. Oh, it was 1.18. There we go. All right, it was a 12-bit camera, arc seconds, leave all that the same. And I'm going to leave all this as default. And I'm going to stick with my math that I like to use, which is full weight half measure is less than 6, and eccentricity is less than or equal to 0.7. Remember, this is how elongated my images are. All right, and let's give it a directory of where to put everything. I'm going to go into our approved folder, open, and now we go through the first phase, which is to measure everything. We'll measure it, and then we will go ahead and output them to a subdata. And this will take a couple minutes to process. All right, so here we go. All 50 have gone through the measuring process, and look, all 50 have been approved. Now, that's quite interesting considering number 50 had those streaks on it. So when I look over here at my eccentricity, it is saying that actually my star is in pretty good shape. So I bet you that most of that image was finished being taken before the mount decided to start slewing for the meridian flip. So let's just see what happens. Let's go ahead and stack this puppy, and I'm going to show you something, okay? I'm going to output these frames, and we'll come back in just a moment. My DiGiorno is out of the oven. It is cooling on the stove top, so if y'all are hungry, stop on by. I have a family size. All right, so everything has been exported and approved and done, so let's go ahead and dismiss this. Yes. And what is the next thing we've got to do? Well, if you're ever in doubt, come back to your file directories. We've done all of these. Oh, it's time to register the fun stuff. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here. So let's go to star alignment, and we're going to grab a file, and we know not to use number 50, right? All right, let's go to our directory with our approved files in it. Let's grab that first one because it looked pretty good. And we're going to generate our Drizzle data. Let's add all of our files from that approved directory and open. Let's output these files to our registered directory. And let's see, star detection, I'm going to leave that as default for right now until I start having problems. Same with the star matching. It's always good to just bump that one up. And that looks good, and we're going to run it, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Well, check that out. All 50 files star aligned. Now this is getting curiouser and curiouser. Let's take a look at number 50 and see what it looks like right now. I'm just curious. After it went through calibration and everything, wow, it still has those spots, but look at how sharp those stars are all around it. So it's like that streaking was just a little bit, not much more than an airplane streak. I'm going to still leave it in. Let's see what happens. But the good thing is we know we have color. The bad thing is it is orange. All right, so what is our next step? We have now aligned everything, so let's see, we need to go through local normalization. So let's go grab one of our files from our newly registered pile. Grab the first one, always easiest to remember the first one, and I leave all these as default. Oops, I want to generate normalization data, and I'm not going to bother showing any rejection maps, they just take too long. Let's grab all of our images. I got them. There we go. Open. Output file is going to be the same directory our registered files go in. Say open, and you run it. And let's go eat some more pizza. I'll tell you what, with all this processing time that takes so long between things, you've got to get something else done. At least I hope. All right, we'll be back in about 4 minutes. All right, so it looks like all of our files have gone through the normalization process, so we will minimize this, close that down. And the last and final step that we need to do to get everything glued together is our image integration. Now let's go ahead and add all of our files from our registered directory. We'll grab our main images and open. We will add all our normalized files. Open those, and let's add all of our Drizzle files. And open. There we go, and you'll notice we've got a normalized and drizzled with each one of our final images. All right, now here's the big thing. We're going to go to Average, Local Normalization. We are going to use our fits keyword. It was programmed back there on our subframe selector. I just didn't show it to you because it was there from the last time I did everything. It's SS weight Okay, I'm going to generate an integrated image, generate my Drizzle data, very important. Subtract pedestals, that's something they've added. Evaluate noises, automatic buffer size, that's all good. Let's go to our rejection data. Because we've got 50 files, we will do the linear fit clipping. But I have even done this new one that they've added, this generalized, extreme, studentized, deviate test. That is a mouthful. That one works really good when you have a whole bunch of files also. So we're back to local normalization. I'll generate my rejection maps. We'll clip our lows, clip our highs, and I will leave everything else as default. And we will run this, and when we come back, I'm imagining we're going to have a single orange image. All right, so we're down to an integrated image. Let's give them a check. This is our rejection slope. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. And our high rejections. Look at that. Those are all those streaks that we had seen in image number 50. And what's in our lows? Oh yeah, some more streaks somewhere along the way. And all this is going away to leave us with one final image that is obnoxiously orange, but overall it's a good looking image. Now I've got one more thing I'm going to do with this before I do the automatic background extraction, and that is run it through the Drizzle integration. And that's going to get rid of any other small artifacts that we just don't want. So we'll add our files, we'll go back to our registered directory and grab all our drizzles. We'll add all our normal files. Alright, and there we go. We'll leave all this as is. We'll enable pixel rejection, image weighting. We'll just leave all this stuff checked. And we will run it, and this will probably take 10 or more minutes, so it's a good time for another break. Alright, so we have all 50 files. They have finished with their Drizzle integration, and let's just take a look at them. Now what we've drizzled, our weights, is what we're getting rid of, all the impurities off of an image. And check that out. All those impurities just happen to be those streaks that were in image 50. So now let's find out if doing the drizzle got rid of those streaks and saved a little bit of data from that one image. I say it's looking pretty darn good. But let's get rid of this yellow, red cast here, orange cast, whatever color you want to call it. It's just ugly. I'll tell you, let me save this file real quick. Save as. I'll send it over to my edit folder. And this is M101. And let's do an automatic background extraction on this. Let it finish saving. Okay, open up the automatic background. Let's just do this real simple. Our target, we're going to go ahead and do a division, discard the background, and replace our target image. And drag a new instance and drop it on the image. Alright. Let's unstretch it and restretch it and take a look. There we go. That looks really, really good. And you notice those long streaks are gone. And that glow on the edge is completely gone. And all the rest of this stuff we'll take care of with our final processing. But this image looks fantastic. So this just goes to prove to you, if you have an airplane running through your image, I mean, unless it's cutting right through the target itself, keep the data, because it's going to calibrate right on out, especially if you go through the extra step of the Drizzle integration. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys today, and we'll come back in our next video and we will complete this image for you. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate all of you. And until the next video, I'm wishing you all some very clear skies. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.